Hey, good afternoon, boys and girls in the YouTube world. Well, here it is, the last day of the year, and things are looking really grim. But that's okay, because I got me a bottle of rye and some ginger ale, and I'm sure things will be looking better here later on. First off, I'd like to thank, oh, look, I'm losing stuff. All my customers that purchased things for me this year. These are just letters that came in. It doesn't include the occasional PayPal and the cash deal that I do from locals. But I've shipped to states, Pennsylvania, Texas, Iowa, Washington State, Hawaii, Alaska. I don't know how many states I shipped to this year, even though my letters this year were half of what they were last year. The amount of money was double. And I didn't jack my fees up like some of them other guys do. I mean, I got letters from Rhode Island, Washington State, California, look at this, Pennsylvania, a bunch from Pennsylvania, bunch from Florida, Texas. I don't know how many from Texas, half a dozen from Texas or more. More from Texas, more from Minnesota, New Mexico, Missouri. I've been shipping stuff all over this year. I would like to point out that, I got a deal cooking up here, okay? I have these listed on gunbroker.com. These are Hi-Point 45 ACB carbine magazines. I think I'm asking like 30 bucks plus shipping for them. You get two. These are brand new 45 ACP Hi-Point carbine magazines. You can find them on gunbroker.com under BPBRS, or just email me direct, blackpowderbill@yahoo.com. I'd like to thank the last couple of guys that made this month possible, because I'll tell you what, I broke my record about a week ago for highest cash dollars ever pulled in on the internet in 1 month, and then I broke it again about an hour later when I listed this Hi-Point 9mm. All right. Now, the reason I'm showing this Hi-Point 9mm is I was going to keep this for myself, but I'm a lark. I threw it on the internet, threw it on Gunbroker, and it was gone about an hour later. But what I want to show you, and I don't know if you can see it well enough for now, I'll try to. See, this is the safety lever right here. All right. This is about 1/8 of an inch off the steel. All right. So when you roll this down, and then you've got your molded stock right here, and that sticks up just a few thousandths. What'll happen is you got to be careful on the bench. You'll bend this and knock it down. I just sold a 45 ACP carbine to a guy in Pennsylvania. He called me on the phone. He says, "Bill," he goes, "I can't get this bolt back. It comes back 3/4 of an inch." And I says, "Geez, I don't know what's wrong." I kind of check the guns out before I sell them, but if they're brand new, I just try to make sure all the parts are in the box. So I started looking around, and I set the safety, and I noticed the bolt won't come back when the safety's set. It only comes back, just a little bit here, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. So I started messing with the safety. I says, "It's your safety. There's something wrong with your safety." And I told him, I says, "My safety goes all the way down." You can see it goes all the way down, just almost level on the horizontal here with the molded stock. His was sticking up like this. What happened was it got bent down, and it was catching this lip on this molded stock, and it wouldn't let this thing open. So I want you to be careful when you got this on the bench. This is for these Hi-Points, these carbines. They're a nice carbine. I mean, you can just about shoot them to death. And they're, what do you want? And I think they're 9-10 round. They're a great gun, but again, I just want guys to be careful you don't bend that little safety tab down. Of course, if you do, now you got to be really careful bending it back up again. I think it's just, you lay something down on the bench, and they're not packaged really well either. I prefer to have one packaged up a little bit better, but we get what we get. They are a hot selling item. I've sold quite a few this year, more than I expected I would. And things are going pretty good when you put your own gun on the internet. You haven't even shot it yet, and it goes in an hour. But that's okay. This is, again, the Hi-Point carbines. Good little gun. And I'll be looking at, I'll try to get some more of those. I tried to call here, but nobody's in. It's the holiday weekend. I usually got to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get these. But if you want them, and you want to throw me a deposit, I'll hold your money order till the gun comes in. But I been looking at 6 to 8 weeks to get these in, and I always order them with 2 extra magazines and an extra mag clip. All right, so you can put them back here on the stock. You bolt them down in here somewhere, and you get 2 extra magazines plus the one it comes with, which is a pretty good deal, I think. I was going to make some comments about firearms owners. You seem to have the same problem the rest of sportsmen have by using the anti-lingo. Every news article I've seen come out from the NRA and anybody, they're still talking about, the evil black weapons, and they want to use that AW word, and I refuse to use it. You got to use the proper terminology for these firearms. They're semi-automatic. They're gas-operated semi-automatic. Okay, don't be using the anti's lingo, okay, in your articles or nothing, all right? It's not a evil weapon ban. It is a firearms ban, period. And that's what you should be saying. Now, just in case anybody says, Bill, who the hell are you, to question what the NRA says, well, I'll tell you what. They got all their magazines going back into the 30s. You got to read some of the real interesting compromises that have been made over the years, all right? A lot of them I don't agree with. A lot of things I don't agree with. But I'll tell you what. People out there, you want to compromise your rights, you're going to take another little chip out of the rock of liberty, okay? Here in New York State, we get it stuffed up the old pooper every single chance. We get 10 different judges in every friggin' 62 counties, and every one of them wants to issue a handgun permit a different way. We shouldn't need a handgun permit, period. Even to carry, you shouldn't need a handgun permit. We shouldn't have to go through double background checks. You buy a firearm, you go through a next check. All right, in New York, if you want to own a handgun, you got to have a permit just to own it, to hunt and shoot with it. And then you got judges, maybe they don't want to issue, maybe they kind of want to issue, maybe they want to limit your restrictions to hunting and target practice and for the home or for the business. This stuff's getting ridiculous. And I'll tell you right now, here in Black Powder Bill's kitchen, we don't cook that kind of crap up. All right? That's a bad pot of stew, and I'm throwing it out. We need to tell people, according to Brady Inc., the little deal that they wanted, all right, when Willie Clinton was in, they got the deal that they wanted. They got their next check, they got their background checks, they have all that. New York State never abolished or repealed the evil black weapons ban. Okay, that's still in force. And it makes it so bad that me as a dealer, when I want to order in, say I wanted to order, some of them, the so-called, semi-automatic gas-operated firearms, they won't even ship them to me. I can't even get, 15, 20, 30-round magazines to sell out of state to other people. This is crippling my business. This is a legal business we've all got to work with here, and I've had it. I've had it with this crap. That's one of the other reasons why I'm moving out of this state. I'm a lawful firearms dealer. If fingerprints, the ATF shows up every now and then to do, check my records. Those guys are pretty, they're pretty nice. We go down through the things. We discuss some rules, any problems, any improvements. What do you think about the paperwork? And I actually don't sell that many firearms outright. So, I got a little bit of paperwork to do. I still do mine by hand. I can do all the e-check stuff. I've got all the programming and the passwords for that. I've had them for years. I just don't use it. I can just call on the phone and sign it right down, and in a couple of minutes I'm done. But this is wrong in New York State. It's wrong all across the country. I think our politicians, well, of course, we're not going to get them removed from office because everybody spoke. The majority spoke in November, which is too bad because now we no longer have a republic. We now have a democratic nation, which means that we're going to be ruled by those who need or the wants. You might as well go work for that motor car company up there in Michigan, the one that John Galt walked out on, because that's it. Everybody gets according to their needs now. There are no more winners. There are no more losers. Everybody just kind of floats along the same. And like I was saying before, that's a bad pot of stew in Black Powder Bill's kitchen, and we need to throw that out. Somebody dumped, there ain't a fly in the ointment, people, okay? There's a turd in the pot. And everybody wants their own little deal, and we ain't going to get it. So you need to start using the right terminology. You need to remember what I told you about this high point safety. I want to thank all my customers again. I got those 245 high point ACP carbine magazines. I got those on gunbroker.com, or just email me direct. Oh, I'd like to thank the guy for buying the 4,000 plus pieces of 9mm brass. See, everybody thought I was charging too much, but you never went back and checked my ad where I lowered the price to $195 shipped. So this boy's getting a good deal. I think he's getting a good deal. All right, I don't load 9mm, I probably would have kept them. Again, you got to use proper terminology. We shouldn't have to have a handgun permit to own a handgun or carry a handgun. Shouldn't be needed. You go buy it, you got to do your next check. I mean, you know, it's just ludicrous. All right? We have judges at local levels that are just flaunting what the Supreme Court and what the district courts say because they want to do whatever they want. We can never get them voted out. I don't know what to do about it. You people here in New York have just compromised way too much. I've lived up here 30 years. You know, I had a choice of three places to move to when I get out of the military. Texas, New York, and West Virginia. I should have never come to New York because I'll tell you what, this place has been circling the drain. The only reason this state hasn't gone down the drain is because it has so many criminals in government blocking. They're the stopper to keep the rest of the state from going down the drain. So the only way New York's going to lose is they have to lose. And they're going to lose a lot. Y'all are going to lose a lot because you've given it all up. Hey, this is Black Powder Bill out. And like the man says, you don't like my opinions, turn it off. You don't have to watch it. But y'all are circling the drain. You can find me on the internet as www.blackpowderbill.com. My name's out there. My affiliations are out there. I do not hide behind a nickname on the internet. I do use my nickname, but that's my business name. But I don't hide behind a name. You Google Black Powder Bill, and you'll find me. I'm not like those other guys that are out there talking on the internet because they're just inciting bull. This is Black Powder Bill out. Y'all have a really nice New Year's. Be good.